As a good portion of your day involves sitting at a desk and a computer, Dr. Glen Schaffer here, and I'd like to cover what proper ergonomics are for setting up your workstation, what proper posture and positioning should be for you, and some exercises to help with those that sit at a desk every day. Everything that we do does cause some degree of stress on our body. So proper posture really is taking that stress associated with what we're doing and spreading it over a larger area. Poor posture or poor body mechanics, ergonomics, concentrates pressure on very specific areas. And if that's happening, and there's a good chance your workstation's probably not set up properly, it'll concentrate stress, cause conditions like neck pain, headaches, possibly numbness and tingling into the arms and hands, a variety of other conditions as well. So today we're going to cover those three things. Proper workstation setup and proper positioning while you're sitting there, and some exercises that you can do. But let's look at what good posture is for the spine. The spine does have some natural curvatures to it. When we look at it from the side, a little curve this way for the neck, mid-back this way, and lumbar spine this way. Whether we sit or stand, our spine should be in this position. So if we're sitting at our desk and computer, our spine needs to be in this particular position. So we'll look at some different components in related to the chair and the workstation, and how they are supposed to support all of this at the workstation. Poor posture will concentrate that pressure. So if we're slouching at our desk because of our setup, the weight of our head pulls forward and puts a lot of pressure here. Possibly your chair isn't properly set up. It can put extra pressure here and through here as well in this mid-thoracic spine. So good posture spreads the stress. Poor posture concentrates the stress, whether it's on our spine, our shoulders, or possibly even our wrists. So we're going to transition. We're going to take a look at the workstation, and I'll give you some of the different components of the workstation and what they should look like and how that should be set up. All right, some of the components of the workstation are the chair, and we'll talk about that in just a moment on what are good aspects of a chair, the keyboard, the height of the keyboard, where the monitor sits in relationship to your head, and I'll talk for a moment a little bit on the phone and proper usage of the phone. But as far as a chair goes, a good rule to remember this, a good way to remember this, what I call the 90-degree rule. Our knees should be at 90 degrees. Our hips where they meet the body should be at 90 degrees. Our arms should be able to hang down so that our elbows are at 90 degrees. And a good chair, our feet should be on the floor while we're sitting there, and the chair should have a good lumbar support. If you do have armrests on your chair, they need to be adjustable, because most chairs, the armrests are up a little bit too high for us to naturally sit with our arms down. So if you do have armrests, if they can be adjustable and up properly. The keyboard should be where, if we're sitting with that 90-degree rule, our arms should be able to hang down comfortably, not putting pressure on this area. We shouldn't have to have our keyboard up so high that we have to scrunch up to reach the keyboard. So our arms should be able to hang down, elbows at 90 degrees where we reach the keyboard. And then the monitor should be directly in front of you and also right at eye level, so you don't have to put your head at an awkward position. If your monitor is off to the side, you're constantly going to have your neck turned. That concentrates pressure on your neck, whatever side you happen to turn to. So those are the key components, to your workstation. Having a chair that properly fits you at the proper height so your arms can hang down properly. A lot of offices utilize laptops now where the laptop sits up on the counter. And that's okay as long as you have the plug-in keyboard where you can bring the keyboard down a little bit lower for you. Because if you're working up on a monitor or a laptop and your arms are up, that puts a lot of extra pressure on the neck area. And the last component of this whole workstation is the telephone. And if you have to work on the computer and talk on the phone, constantly you're going to do this. And that's not a good position to have your neck in for a long period of time during the course of a day. So I'd recommend either a headset or possibly even a little shoulder rest if you're not on the phone that much, because that's a key component to this area up and through here, the upper thoracic and neck area, which is the problem area for folks that kind of work at a workstation with a computer monitor. either not having that up properly, they've got their neck in a bad position, their shoulders are in a bad position. So one of the couple of exercises I wanted to cover to help this particular problem, because we tend to get a little slouchy working on the computer, and it affects this area here. It's a postural stretch where we can stretch out this chest area. So just kind of make believe you're pushing your chest bone forward. You're pushing your shoulder blades together in the back. As you stretch that, just count that to a count of 10. Stretch that back and relax. And secondly, tighten up your upper trapezius muscles in here and to a count of 10, and then relax. Repeat that several times, stretching this way, stretching these muscles and relaxing, so that basically this becomes your more comfortable position, your more natural position. So we've covered some of the different dynamics of this. If you're already suffering with either numbness in the hand or pain, neck pain, headaches, I'd offer you a complimentary consultation with me. Just simply call my office and schedule that with my receptionist. I'd be glad to sit down with you and talk to you about that. If you want a little more instruction on your workplace setup, we have a problem with some workstations in that they're not very adjustable. So how do we handle that if certain aspects of your workstation are not adjustable to fit you? And there are some ways to handle that. Well, Dr. Glen Schaffer, San Carlos Chiropractic. You can call my office at 239-267-3133.